Today we continue with our class of Halachos and Brachos. Today is class number 7. Start with Sefer Hafetz Chaim in page 178, and the big topic is the same, toilets for the victim's benefit. Okay, now today's topic, taking law into one's hands. We have seen that it is permissible for a Beis Din, rabbinical court, to use certain forms of social pressure to pursue the individual to abide by its ruling. Okay. However, it is forbidden to use social pressure in order to bypass the court process and force a thief to return what he stole. So basically, it's a big difference between the individual and a court, right? So one cannot pressure, one cannot publicize that this guy stole from me and stuff like that. It is wrong to cause the community to take stand in a monetary issue on the basis of individual's word alone. So basically, this guy said that he stole from me, but it's his personal view of the story. So only it always has to go to the Beis Din. Let them hear both sides and verify who is right and who is not. Only through the psak, ruling of the Beis Din, may the community take a stand. Meaning, okay, Beis Din said, yeah, this guy stole from this guy, so we have to pressure him. Thus, it is correct to ensure that the parties come before the Beis Din. But it is forbidden to personally orchestrate the enforcement of what is believed to be justice. So even though he knows that he's 100% right, has to go through the procedure, go to the Beis Din, and Beis Din can apply the pressure. Okay, so let's stop here. Okay, so we continue Halachos and Brachos, and we're on chapter. What chapter? Oh, chapter 4. So, in our topic is a principle of Ikar and Tofel. So we have we're learning about primary and secondary foods. Right? So it's Ikar is covering the Tofel. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. But let's say Beis Din would give $30, right? Let's say if they were to argue, and Beis Din would say you have to give this person $30, right?
Yeah.
But you're allowed to agree on a different deal instead of going to the Beis Din, correct?
Yes, yeah. That's preferable way. So even if the Beis Din, since many times this evidence are not conclusive 100%, so they're trying to reach some kind of agreement.
So my question is like this: what if, because this agreement, instead of going to the Beis Din, what if I decide to go to the U.S. court instead of Beis Din? Is that okay too?
No. We said that it is moiser. It's an informer on a Jew.
No, but let's say both of them agree to go to the U.S. court. That's what I'm saying.
That's okay. So that's example. Example. You asked me for example. That's example of HaShem.
Understood.
So now you tell me, why is it HaShem to go to the U.S. court? What is the problem?
Because you say the U.S. laws are better than the Torah laws.
That's it. So our rabbis, our judges, not competent to decide about this monetary issue, and plus the other party can be punished more than Torah prescribed the punishment.
Yeah. But if they both agree, right, to go to the U.S. court, and let's say the amount he has to pay is bigger than the Beis Din, does it count as stealing from the other person? Because both of them agree.
100% stealing from another person. Only Beis Din can decide. But in some cases, let's say Beis Din cannot decide, or they don't want to decide for whatever reason. There are a few cases in the Jewish communities, big cases. For example, when this Satmar Rebbe Zatzal, when he passed away, his two sons, they claimed that to be heirs to his seat, and they could not decide between themselves, and they did not accept any Beis Din. So basically, one was against the other, and it's plus it's not only the position of the leading rabbi, it's also a lot of money. Understand? So they went, the way I understand, the way I read, they went to not Jewish, civil court. I'm sure that base didn't allow them. Otherwise, like, it would be Hil HaShem. Okay, but so in some cases, if base didn't said, okay, you can go ahead, so we can go ahead. Okay. So we run. So 1 second. Let me just read even title. So we said definition. Okay. We said one example of absolute tofel. We said not eaten together with ikar. So I mean, ikar is a primary and tofel is a secondary, right? So if it's not, they're not in together, they have nothing to do with each other basically. And now number 3, we're on page 57, and we started bread or mizonos. Even bread or mizonos, which are usually considered too choshev, to classify as tofel, are considered tofel when eaten in this subordinate manner. So bread is always important, always, right? And choshev is important, and mizonos is also important, right? So when we're going to get to the chapter of mizonos, so we say that you make the blessing of mizonos first.
Rabbi, I have a question.
Yes.
I remember saying for cholent, because I looked at the back right at cholent.
Yeah.
So it says if there's more than a minimum amount of barley, then you make mizonos. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, more than a minimum amount, meaning if it's a minimal amount of barley, then you make a hadama. What counts as a minimal amount?
Minimum amount that it's like in almost in every spoonful you have, or 1 or 2.
So
it's I don't know what percentage it would be. It's not a big percent, as you understand, but it's still enough to change the taste and be like visible.
Okay.
Okay. So continue.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
About mesonot, the question is any other than a specific bread, is that mesonot?
No, bread. No, what's this? Bread is not mizonot. Bread is not. On bread we say hamotzi. Hamotzi, it's a who grew the bread from the ground. I think like approximately this, but you can look it up in your signal. Yeah, you understand? Mizonos means that it's from one part. It's from bread-like family. So bread-like family, for example, cookies, right? You have crackers. You have I don't know, all of the pastries. You have cake, right? It's a bread-like family, right? And second one is something like not bread-like family, but also mizot that was cooked. You have pasta, right? You have ravioli. You have all these things that are cooked. So those are also mizonos, but I mean different, but also mizonos.
I ask this because I have always the doubt what blessing to do if it is a bread like, but not a bread, specific bread. For example, a cake, pizza.
No, pizza we consider like bread. Pizza we consider bread, but cake, if you do not eat, if the whole meal. Yeah, right. You have the whole meal, and all meal consists of only this cake. So we treat it as bread.
Cookies is the same if we consider.
Yes. If you eat a lot, basically.
Okay.
Rabbi, what's is mizonos bread a real thing? Like, do we count it as a real thing or no? Or like, is it?
I didn't get the beginning of the question. Say it again.
Mizonos bread. Okay, there's exactly. I heard that some people hold it's a real thing. Some people hold that it's not, like, meaning if you're eating it as bread, it's hamotzi. Don't even try saying it's mizonos. So what is it? Do we count it as mizonos or do we count it as hamotzi?
Okay. I mean, it's not our topic, but I'm going to just give summary without going into details. So how to make something for, like bread family like, and how do you make mizonos? So mizonos, it means that it's sweet. For example, right? You eat you add a lot of sugar, right? In the cake, you add sugar, you add honey, all of these things, right? Or, for example, Mishna Brura says you add a lot of fruit juice. So some cakes, some cakes you don't use water, right? They could, even pizza. So these people who said that the pizza is a mizonos pizza, it means that they want to claim. Now, all of these people who say that there is mizonos bread, it means that they have a lot of fruit juice, apple juice, let's say, in this roll. It's never bread. It's always roll, right? Bulkovas, like round ones, right? So if he eats and it's let's say it's a majority of this I don't know, instead of the water, majority of the liquid was apple juice, let's say, right? Let's say then it becomes mizonos, and if he eats as a snack, okay, that's he says mizonos. But as you said, if you eat it as a part of the meal, and it's and he has salad and everything revolves around this bread, so it's 100% bread. You understand? So this leniency it's for people who do not want to say blessing to HaShem. That's it. That's bottom line. So people can argue, but they can argue till tomorrow. It's that's the bottom line. So if you love HaShem, you want to say it on mizonos, on this bread that they call mizon, you want to say chamotzi. There is, we have a lot of poskim. Majority of poskim say absolutely yes. You understand?
So if I want to make So if I want to make a pseudo off of cake, right? Even if it's less than 8 ounces, I make hamotzi.
If it's your Suda and it's so there are two opinions. One it's 8 ounces, we said, right? Was it 8? So 8 ounces. Okay, so I mean it's a lot. It's a lot of cake to eat, and it fills you. I mean you're going to be for sure, right? So yeah, you go wash your hands, and I tell you why. I tell you what. So when you used to buy from bakery these big muffins, so it's like humongous muffin like this. I don't know. It's very heavy. So I would go in and wash my hands. Absolutely, it was my meal, 100%. Was it 8 ounces? I don't know, maybe close to 8 ounces. You understand? But it was for sure. It was my breakfast. I would have coffee or tea, and this muffin. That's for sure the complete meal.
Understood.
You understand? And most of the people cannot even eat this big muffin. No, not most, but many people, because it's too much. So meaning, if it's too much for them and I can eat it, so for me it's a complete meal. Yeah.
Can you put on hold the blessing, the after meal blessing, for hours, for example?
For hours, it depends. If you're still full from that meal, if it's a complete meal with bread, let's say, right? So they say after bread, 72 minutes for sure. You have, but if it's huge meal, you can after 2, 3, 4 hours, you're still full, right? You still have food. They say, okay, you can do it even then, but it's questionable.
So it's not mandatory to say the after meal blessing immediately.
In some sense, it is mandatory. Why? Because people are going to forget.
Oh, so
if people fall asleep, yeah. The most preferable way: do not feel like you tie down to a chair and you cannot stand up until you finish the blessing. You understand? Otherwise, people forget. I know. Today, that happened to me today. I was careful. No, I'm going to say. Then somebody called me this and that, and guess what? I'm not sure if I said it basically.
Because
maybe
some people would say, "Oh, it's a very long blessing. Let's leave it for later."
Yes,
and they ended forgetting.
Rabbi Reuven always say about these people. So he said, When they ate meal, the cholent, the potatoes and meat, right? The size of their head. It was not for 3 hours they sat and ate. Right? There was not too much. But bless HaShem, for 5 minutes, that's too much. Understand? That's how hypocritical people are. All right. So, okay, so can continue. So we say bread or mizonos, right? So we said bread and mizonos, usually they're primary food, but, okay. For example, after a sample and taste of a hot chili, one eats a bit of bread for no reason other to soothe the harsh taste in his throat. Since the bread was not eaten to satisfy his hunger, nor for enjoyable taste, he is not required to make hamotzi on bread. The bread is included in borei pri hadama, made on chili. So let's read commentary and we're going to explain. Commentary say, is one plans to eat less than kizayis of bread as a tofu, he's not required to wash his hands, if he plans to eat more than one kizayis, it is preferable to wash without reciting the Brachot. So, okay, I mean, they jump in a little ahead, but let's explain all of the ideas that says here. Okay, so here, I think where we had discussion with David during the week, similar discussion. So this person, he did not plan on eating bread, and now he ate this chili, okay, like very hot, right? And now it's like hot, like a very spicy, like taste in his mouth, and he wants to eat bread to just offset the taste. So he ate this bread not because he wanted more food, not because of the taste of the bread, but to stop this taste, right? So in this case, he does not need to say blessing on the bread, basically. You understand? It's a bread, in this case, is secondary. And in this note, they say, we're going to learn it in details, but since we're on the topic, so I'm going to explain. So there are three different situations, right? The person can be in, right? The first situation, when he plans to eat small amount of bread, less than kizayis. Kizayis is 1 ounce, 28 grams. 28 grams. It's depends on the bread. Sometimes it's half slice of the bread. Sometimes it's like American bread. It could be the whole slice, like because it's too puffy and stuff like that. Okay, doesn't matter. So you can always weigh, the 28 grams, right? So if it's less than 28 grams, he washes. He does not have to wash the hands. Okay, you allowed. There's no problem to wash your hands for bread, even after kizayis. But halacha is you're not obligated. So period. So you want to do it, but you're not obligated. Okay. So if he eats more than if he plans to eat more than one kizayis, but less than 2, so he washes, but without blessing. You understand? If it's more than 2, he washes with a blessing. So basically, that's the thing. But okay, so if he ate less than 1 kizayis, like less than 1 kizayis, he does not say birchas hamazon, right? And all of the foods are not included in this meal, under this blessing. They're not included. They're not covered, basically. If he eats more than kizayis, even though he does not say blessing on the washing of the hands, it does not make any difference. He's still obligated to say birchas hamazon. Okay, so that's a summary. That's a summary.
Sorry, what's the difference between 1 kizayis and 2 kizayis once again?
If 1 kizayis and more, right? But less than 2, so he washes without blessing.
Honestly, okay.
But that's the difference. Birchas hamazon in both cases.
Okay.
Okay. So let's continue. I'm not sure why he said it in this page, but okay, since he said it, we explain it. Okay, continue. Similarly, after drinking some whiskey, one eats a bit of cake in order to counteract the sharp taste. for the whiskey, I apologize. Since the cake was not eaten for enjoyment or satiation, and were it not for the whiskey, he would not be eating the cake at all. The shechakel made on the whiskey covered the cake. Okay, so basically it's similar example, but similar but a little different, right? So he had this like he drank this whiskey, and it's like very sharp taste, so he wants to eat a piece of cake. But usually that's what people plan to do, right? They drink this hard liquor and then they eat something. So in this case, you would need to say the blessing because it was your plan. So this example only is going to work if it was not your plan. You were not planning to on eating, but this somehow it's I'm not sure why did he drink whiskey, but he drank. Doesn't matter. So so there is no blessing on the cake required. Got it? Make sense or no?
Rabbi, why don't we just say it's like a normal tuffle though? Where like even if I
No,
plan
no, it's not normal. Normal, it's like as we said. So, for example, you eat in French fries and you add some I don't know, ketchup. That's normal. But here he was not planning on to. You understand? So the only reason he takes this piece of cake after this whiskey because of the sharp taste. That's it.
Actually,
If he was planning to eat, it's not secondary. I mean, it's like you have a sequence, right? You first you eat soup, then you eat this. Same here. First you make a l'chaim. I don't know. I don't drink hard liquor. Don't recommend. Not good idea, right? So he drinks and then he eats. Yeah.
What's it called? But since he's doing specifically just because of the liquor, and actually I'm pretty sure the next comment they're going to have over there, the next something or whatever, is going to be talking about how do you know if the cake is really, what's it called, is for your own benefit or because of the whiskey. You understand? How do we know, right? And so so this question wouldn't apply if it was not planned. They're obviously asking this question because it's planned, no? So if it's planned...
No, stop. If it's planned, as I explained before, if it's planned, he has to make 2 blessings, for sure. There is no question about it. Here, I mean, he thought, I give you an example. He thought that it's 7-Up, right? I know how, whiskey, almost the same color, I guess. I'm a speculator, don't okay, so he thought it's 7-Up. So somebody poured, and he like did a shot, like a big one, and it was whiskey. So now it like everything is burning in his mouth, and he wants to put something in his mouth. That I'm talking about this situation. We're not talking about that he wants to drink and then he wants to eat cake. Nothing to do with that.
But okay, so why isn't it different with the chili and the bread? Then I should wash for the bread as well, no? Since I planned to eat the bread because of the chili. What's the difference?
Okay. If it's once again, if it's your plan, you must wash 100%. Here he tried. He did not know that it was would be so spicy. That's it.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, if it's in like from the beginning, this bread and mizonos, the choshev, you must say blessing from them.
Got it. Okay.
And as you even say yourself today, right? In a cholent, if it's minimal amount of this barley and barley mizonos, of course you must say blessing.
Understood.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, somehow they did not explain, but that's what it means. Okay, so continue. However, when the bread or cake are eaten not only to remove the harsh taste, but also for enjoyment or satiation, right? They are not considered tofu. Okay, exactly. See next paragraph, and require the appropriate bracha. Okay, so I mean, if it's that's part of his meal, right? So it's not covered. But yeah, it's not covered. So you must say separate blessing on the cake. Continue. I have this conversation with someone, right? When we go out of the shul, so in the shul where I go, They put like somebody have a yard site, like some celebration, so they put cookies, cakes, whatever, some drinks, whatever, and it's I finish like 7:10 in the morning. That's when I go home, right? 7:10, and sometimes they put liquor, hard liquor in there. So I like how can you drink liquor at 7 in the morning? You just finish prayer. And then one guy was pouring, and I said it's a goyish water. Don't drink it. He said no. He said no. It's a Jewish tradition. Yeah, it's a Jewish tradition. I said I heard that Rabbi Eliashiv drank like in the morning liquor. It's not Jewish tradition. You understand? Or Rabbi Bavli, they never drank in the morning. I'm not sure if you ever drank all of this garbage. You understand? Okay. In situations such as this, it can be difficult to determine the precise purpose for eating them. For example, there is if he is eating the bread or cake solely to remove the harsh taste, or also to satisfy hunger or derive enjoyment. The poskim advise, therefore, not to eat cake or bread solely for the purpose of removing harsh of accurate taste in this manner. So basically, as we said before, so if you all the way I understand, all these sharp foods, like they're not good for you. Like after you swallow, they go into your stomach and make a lot of damage. You understand? First of all, don't do it. But here they say since it's hard to understand why you're eating for satisfaction or to remove the sharp taste. So always have in mind, I want to enjoy this cake. This piece of bread, I like it very much. Okay. So basically, if it's small piece, and we said he's not obligated to wash his hands, so he can simply say hamotzi lachem chaoretz, and that's it, and eat this piece of cake. There is no prohibition. Why, like the way I see it, why should he put himself in this difficult situation? Okay. So next one, enhancers. Okay. Number one definition: when two distinct foods are eaten together, and one of the foods is eaten primarily to enhance the other, food is considered a tofel, right? So, like a ketchup, right? Similarly, when one adds ingredients to the mixture in order to enhance the mixture, that ingredients are also considered tofu. So we're going to see the examples. Enhancers in the mixture are discussed in section D2. Okay, so we're on section B. We're going to get to it. To illustrate, if one eats cream cheese on the crackers, he is required to make only one bracha, that of the cracker. Since the cream cheese is used to enhance the cracker, it is regarded as subordinate tofel, and is covered by the borem in emizonis. Okay, so let's see this example, and we're going to explain examples. The following are some typical examples of tofu eaten to enhance the ikar. Okay. First item listed is ikar, second is tofu. So first is primary, second is secondary. Blintzes and sour cream. So I mean, sour cream, you usually don't eat it like that. Next one, rice cakes and peanut butter. Okay. Next one, potato latkes and applesauce. Next one, ice cream with the fruit toppings. So fruit toppings, usually people don't eat by itself, I think. Right? So, but on ice cream, yeah, they would eat. But in order not to confuse ourselves, right, with this cracker. So if cracker is a main food for you, yeah, that's what you do. But if you like cream cheese, as one of our friends, he likes cream cheese very much. So it's this cracker is not primary. He wants cream cheese. He just don't want to really eat it from the package, right? He like from a container. He wants to put it somewhere. So in this case, you make two blessings. And I say, if you like this and this, you must say on a mizonos and on a cracker, and you say on a separate on a cream cheese. You break a little piece of cracker. You say baremine mizonos. Then you eat a little cream cheese, and then you say shechakol, and that's it. You're good. But if as an example, they say if the only reason you eat this cream cheese to improve the cracker, yes, you say only one blessing. Okay, so it was A, now B. According to one's individual taste. So first of all, okay, and that's very interesting. We're going to discuss. In some foods combinations, actually that's what this example that I give. If he likes this and this. In some foods combination, one item is almost always eaten as an enhancer. For example, horseradish and gefilte fish. So nobody would, in his normal mind, eat the horseradish by itself, right? But with gefilte fish, for sure. In many instances, however, there is no definitive determination as to whether a particular food is eaten as an ikar or not. Okay, so one more time. Okay, no, continue and we go to this now. Different people eat foods for different purposes. The way to determine which is ikar is to evaluate the intention of the person eating the food combinations. This determination is totally subjective, to illustrate by the following example. So let's read the example and we're going to explain. Basically, in some cases, like for different people, they have different preferences. So for me, this is primary, this is secondary. For him, it's going to be that opposite. Right? One eats some cottage cheese on the wedge of the apple or melon. Okay. He eats this way because he feels that the cottage cheese enhances the flavor of the fruit. To this person, the fruit is ikar, and a bracha on the fruit will cover the cheese as well. Another person might eat the wedge of the fruit with the cottage cheese because he feels that the fruit enhances the cheese. For this reason, the cottage cheese is ikar, and shechakol made on a cheese will cover the fruit. Regarding the cases where neither of this cheese nor fruit are eaten to enhance, see section E2A. So we're going together. So let's get to it. So let's discuss these two examples. I mean, straightforward. So they say he eats this. He has this wedge of apple, right? Slice of apple, and he puts cottage cheese. So and he likes the apples, and that's the reason he eats the cottage cheese. So the cheese is covered. He says baremine mizonos, baremine on the apple, and it covers the cheese. Clear, right? Other person opposite. He likes the cheese. And he does not care about apple, only apple enhances the cheese. Okay, so in this case, he says on the cheese and the covered apple. But if he likes both of them, we're going together. Basically, you say two separate blessings. You understand? That's the thing. So in most, I'll finish. In most of the cases, the way I understand, like the way I do the blessing, I don't have like special preference. So I would not eat. One because of the other because of this. I like this one and this one, so there's no primary really. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, in regards to, let's say, because we said before, let's say I have fruit inside of ice cream, right? Chocolate, correct? Yeah. So my question's like this. Let's say I have fruit, let's say strawberries, okay? Sliced strawberries, whatever you want to say.
Yes.
Inside of what? Inside of normal bread. Is it considered a mizonos because it's sweet now or no?
Okay, so now, okay, 1 second. Let me finish. 1 second. Okay. Hi, Or. Nice to see you. All right. So The question is if you have pieces of fruit, right? It could be raisins, anything, right? It doesn't matter. That's what we do in our house. We have fruits, they dry fruits in the bread, for example, right? So here's the difference between Ashkenazi custom and Sephardi custom, right? So Sephardim say if whatever bread is a little sweet, a little honey or a little sugar, so it's not bread, it's already cake. Now, not everybody hold by that, but many people, Sephardim that I know, they hold by this opinion. You understand? So if they would have these fruits, so for them it's not everybody, but many say that it's not bread for them, right? For whatever reason, don't ask me why. But what we say, it doesn't matter. For us, it's bread, part of the meal, so it doesn't matter if these fruits are secondary.
But what's it called? Let's say I understand in regards to raisins because you don't add like mamish a lot of raisins. But I'm saying specifically where with the strawberries inside, with every bite, you feel like, actual, a good amount, like where it's actually sweet and so on and so forth. What it doesn't get like cake for what reason?
No. I mean, look, if it was baked as a cake, it is a cake. But if it was baked as a bread, so it is bread.
Understand.
So I never seen this bread with the strawberries. Usually the people do bread with blueberries, dry blueberries, right? With dried cranberries, with other things dry, but not with.
I heard it's a Russian thing to what's it called? Use strawberries and masla, butter inside of bread. So that's why I ask.
Oh, okay, all right. All right. So we finished that. Okay, next one, number 2. Only if eaten together with ikar. So that's like a different condition. Okay, so it says food being eaten to enhance is considered tofu only if it is eaten together with the ikar. Right. So that's a big condition. That's okay. If it is not eaten together with the ikar, a separate bracha will be required. For example, applesauce is eaten to enhance potato latkes, does not require separate bracha when eaten together with latkes. If the applesauce was eaten together with latkes and a little bit was left over on the plate, that too remains tofu and does not require additional bracha. Okay. So if whatever left over, and another example would be cereal, right? So you eat cereal with milk, and you say "Barem zoynes," right? On a cereal, and it covers the milk, right? And now you finish with the cereal, but you still have some milk left. So this milk is tofu, it's covered, so you don't need a separate blessing. Or example that they give, so you ate latkes and they finished, and you have applesauce, it's still covered.
Rabbi, but what if after all the cereal, sugar, so on and so forth, now you're thirsty, right? Do you have to make, so at the very start you wouldn't have made it, but now you're thirsty, do you make a shakal?
On this milk, whatever is left. It's it's a continuation of the process. So it's not like you eat a different food.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Okay, so just one second. What did we left? Okay. However, if after finishing the latkes, one wishes to take additional applesauce, a separate bracha on the applesauce will be required. I think it's a brilliant addition. I mean, so now finish latkes. There was some applesauce left. He finished, and now he wants extra. So this extra is not covered. Basically, you need to make another blessing. Okay, continue. Number 3. So yeah, go ahead.
Why don't we say like this? Let's say he has kavana. That he wants more applesauce before he finishes this applesauce. Why don't we see us to make a bracha on this applesauce? Because we see that he's eating it for the taste.
100%. No. In this case, it's 100%. So in your case, whatever you're saying, so applesauce is a separate food for him. You understand? Separate food. You must say separate blessing. So it's not an enhancer. He likes it very much. So how is it enhancer? You understand? So, in many cases, we're going to make a separate blessing, but not in all. Okay. Okay, so continue. Number 3, tofu is mezoines. Usually when mezoines is eaten with another food, it is the other food that is being used to enhance mezoines. For example, when one eats a cracker and something with it, for example, cheese tuna, right? One's intention is usually to eat cracker for satiation. Okay. Therefore, the cheese or tuna is generally considered the enhancer and is covered by the Brachot on the crackers. However, if the cheese and tuna is not being eaten to enhance the cracker, 2 brachas are required as discussed in section E, 3F. So I think it's a very interesting idea, and as I said before, I think that this is more prevalent case, right? And not case situation when you like one and you like another. So nothing enhance nothing, right? So I mean, I'm not sure how this this example that the author gives, this cracker, he has this dry cracker, and and it has this nice beautiful tuna. How this tuna enhances the cracker? I'm maybe if he's hungry and he wants to like fill his stomach and he wants to eat crackers, but they're too dry, and he wants to put a piece of tuna on that. Okay, maybe. I don't know. But otherwise, as we said, if he likes crackers and likes tuna, just eat it separately, make the blessing, and then you can eat them together any way you want. In cases where the mezoines is being used to enhance the other foods, the mezoines is considered tofu. However, since mezoines produce a choshev, it's like important, respected, even when they are used as enhancer, they do not become exempt from the bracha of requirements. So basically, if it's enough mezoines, and we're going to say it's never secondary. Okay. To illustrate, okay, if only is bowl of cottage cheese and garnishes it with 1 or 2 crackers, the crackers are considered tofu, and borei minei mezoines will not exempt the cottage cheese. Right. However, since the crackers are mezoines, they will require bracha. So I think that's a very brilliant example. Right. So he eats this cottage cheese. It's a lot, like the whole bowl, and he has 2 small crackers to to help to put on his spoon. I don't know, whatever reason he eats only 2. So are they secondary? Of course, they're secondary. He wants to eat a big bowl and 2 small crackers. Of course, they're secondary. But since they're mezoines, you must say blessing on them. But since they're secondary, they cannot cover the primary. Understand? So on mezoines we say always, but even though they're secondary, but since they're secondary, they cannot cover primary. So I say borei minei mezoines and shechakol on cheese. Make sense or no?
Yes. 2 questions. The first being, let's say I have crackers, right? Minus 2, 3 crackers, what we just said, right? If I crush them into the cottage cheese, do I have to take one out, like one of those small pieces, and then make a mezoines?
Yes. So I would usually, you're right, 100%. I would usually do it before I crush them, or leave 1 piece over.
Mm-hmm.
I give you this example, right? So when we make pizza, right? We make pizza, so it's all covered with cheese, with this and that, right? So what I would do, I would take a small piece of bread, regular bread, make hamotzi, eat this bread, and then continue with pizza. You understand? So to make it clear that so I only make the blessing on this.
Doesn't that mean that in some cases, okay, with cholent, right, that I would have to make both, what's it called, mezoines and priyadama?
We'll see. It's cholent it's a masterpiece. It's a separate chapter on this cholent, because we will say I'm going to give you the summary on, like it depends on the chunk, if a piece is big or small, right? So if it's big, does not fit in one, like they call it a spoonful or a forkful, right? So you have to break them in parts, so it's not a mixture then, right? So if it's not mixture, you have to make the blessing on separate elements. But if it is mixture, it's like small pieces, or it became like one mass, so it's a different story. So you can call it a mixture. On mixture, we usually say only one blessing. For example, you have fruit salad. They call it fruit salad, but sometimes you have vegetables in the fruit salad, right? You can have pieces of melon on which you have to say chadam, or you have piece of banana, you have grapes and this and that. So, but in there we're going to learn. So in most of the cases, like straightforward way, we go by majority. So if fruits are majority, I say on fruits and they cover vegetables. Vegetables are majority. It's mostly melons, for example, right? In the fruit salad, and only a few grapes. So you can say on Brachot, it's going to cover everything. Why? One more time, because it is a mixture. But if it's cut in a big pieces, they're not mixed.
Mhm.
You understand?
Is there less machlekes when it comes to cholent with big pieces versus cholent with small pieces of food, or no?
So it's I don't know how to say it, but our sages do not agree basically. So for us, we must take one approach and just follow that approach.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't but if it's people always like no, I'll take it back. So if it's a big piece, it's never a mixture.
Okay, so
there is so if it's never a mixture, so you have to say on different elements, and one does not has like enhance the other. So the beans, okay, the beans are very good. Do they enhance meat? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe not.
So I have a question like this: what's better? Because really, you're not allowed to make extra brachos. Like, let's say, for example, I make a shackle, then leave the room, come back, make another shackle, so on and so forth, so on and so on, right? Because it's going to be 5 extra.
No, but if you if you need to go, to the bathroom, if you need to attend to to some things that you need to do, so it's not unnecessary price.
Agreed. I'm saying this. What's better? Let's say have cholent with small pieces, right? And go with the machlekes.
Yes.
And go with the machlekes and only make one bracha, because it doesn't make a difference. Small pieces, big pieces, doesn't matter.
Yes.
Or do you go with lesser, no machlekes pretty much, and make 2 brachas? Which one's better?
I mean, this one is right and that one is right. You cannot say that which one is better. They're both right. It depends on the size of the pieces.
I understood. But the thing is, these people halachically disagree. I'm saying for me, it doesn't matter which one.
Okay. Whatever. So let's say even if they disagree, that does not matter. You have your own approach to that. No, not your own, but you follow one view.
Understood.
So many people, if you ask somebody when in what case you say Varami Nemizonas and Chon, they think that you came from the moon. So what do you mean on Chon, Varami Nemizonas? But it's clear, people do not learn, they do not know. Understand? So if it's a minimal amount, as we said, of barley, you say Varami Nemizonas.
Got it.
And plus they add what is it? I don't know. They add into kugel that a lot of flour to make it heavier.
Wait, kugel is mazinus?
If it's a lot of flour, yeah.
How do you know if it's a lot of flour?
You have to ask. You don't know. So basically, guess what? You're right. You don't know, and unless you ask. So let's. Today's little shorter class. So I mean, we can go into questions.
Okay.
Okay.
So questions like this. I searched up what it says for kugel, and for me, it's hard to wrap my mind around, because, for example, like this, they say It's either shakel or hadama. Bottom line, either shakel or hadama. How do you know which one it is? You go ask someone, right? If they think it looks like potato, okay? That's what they say. Now, I have a problem with that because let's say I go to a Jew who eats kugel every Shabbos right away. Right when he looks at kugel, doesn't matter. He's gonna know right away.
Exactly. So no. It's not a good person to ask. Exactly. So I give you an example. So our stages are very clear, very particular. For example, we suspect there is an error in a Sefer Torah. Like half of the letter is missing. So how do you know? They ask Rabbi. Rabbi knows this word. For him, there's nothing missing. For this guy, there's nothing missing. So what do? They call a child. What child? There is a special halachic definition of the child, who is not specifically bright and not specifically foolish. And he knows Aleph best. He does not. He cannot read yet, right? But only with Nikudas. So okay. So basically, if he is going to tell what the letter is, that's how it looks to him. You understand? So it's the best proof. Does he know what the letter, like you know the word. So if you know the word, you can read it, like even in English, well, if the text was cut off, right, a little, so you can figure even the last two letters, correct? Right? So because you're dog, but a child would not know. He would not put two and two together. So that's how we know. So this Jew, as you said, it's not a good example. It's not a good test, right? So go to somebody who does not know how this kugel is made.
So I'll say it like this then, because let's say you can go to like an 8, 9, 10-year-old. They're already they're their own person, right? And then they're so they know it's kugel, so on and so forth.
No. Even though they know what is kugel, but do they know what it's made from? I mean, if they were helping mother, yes, they know. But otherwise, they do not know.
I think they know. These.
Okay.
I think so. Okay. So long story short, because we have two problems. What's the first problem? The problem is it even look like potato, right? Because if it doesn't look like potato, we make shakel, right? Okay. The second problem we have, like we were just talking about, is, and you go somewhere, not always you have the chef right there. We don't know if it's made with flour or without flour. And so since there's a machlekes called dam or shakel, shouldn't we just make shakel and be fine? Just make shakel?
Okay. So I would say my approach is, right? So it says when first of all, have you ever seen the cauliflower kugel? So cauliflower kugel, it's of course much more expensive, much more healthier, but it looks very, very, very similar to potato. So just because it's a light and it's called kugel does not mean there is a potato. You understand? So to say that it is a potato, it's maybe yes, maybe no. But cauliflower is also grows from the ground. So if you don't know what is it for sure, if you do not know, even though you know it is a vegetable, so we make shechakol.
Got it. Okay. So
you understand? So if you have you see pieces of potato and it has potato color, like stuff like that, so then it's clear. But otherwise, if it was blended, right? So if you have pieces and you can recognize that, it's one. But if it was blended with other things,
understood. So if I have mashed potato, I also make shakel or no? Because it looks like cauliflower.
No. When you look at potato, you know that it's potatoes.
Understood.
Okay. And even this, there is an opinion so that about this dry potato, right? That is in from the packets that you put hot water and like mashed potato, dry, like powder. You put powder and you add hot water or put it in the microwave, and 2 minutes later have yourself a bowl of mashed potato. So some people say since it is you have to reconstitute. It was powder. You add water, you add this, that, and you put it in the microwave or on the stove, and you cook it basically. So it's not potato. So they say shechakol. Other people say no. Rabbis. I mean, when I say people, rabbis. Rabbis say no. It looks like exactly as mashed potato. So you say So, but basically, whether or not you can recognize what it is, even if it was like in a powder form or mashed.
Understood. So one more thing, when we go to noodle kugel, right, and it's usually sweet, right? So my question is like this: for whatever reason, I feel like it might be a shackle, or is it mazinus?
No. It's 100% mizoinus, but you see that it's mizoinus. You see the kugel. You see the pieces of the thing. Right?
Understood. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Yeah. About the topic I was referring yesterday, I think about the olive oil. I found it. It was not exactly like that. Here it says mitzvah 125 to 26 to not place oil or frankincense on the poor man's meal offering. So what is this meal offering?
Meal offering. Okay. So meal offering. So in our temple, right? When person had to bring the offering, so he would bring an animal, right? An animal, right? And with each animal there was a wine offering, some like a specific amount of wine, and some bread offering. So this bread offering was from this flour, and they would put on flour. They put olive oil, right, and put this frankincense, this the nice smell of things. So, but in some cases where we do not put, for example, in the case of sota is a suspected wife that she cheated, right? So in this case, we just put bring as a sacrifice this separate just flour without oil. That's what you refer. Or if it's what was another case? If it's a sin offering, so if he brings a sin offering, he also does not add flour to this olive oil.
But is this meal offering a meal that the Kohanim would eat?
Yes. So he takes with a 3-finger full, like this, and with a small finger. Is that I can my finger even don't move like that. So he, like 3-finger full, and then he like with this small finger he takes from the top, basically extra. I mean, you have to train. Kohen is not such an easy job.
Is there
only a little we put on the altar, and the rest they have to eat, basically.
Is there any other sins that a person may commit that will prevent the Kohanim to put oil over their meal offering?
I think it's the sin offering. I'm not sure. Maybe some others I would not remember now.
That's Rabbi. What's protection for bittul Torah?
What is the protection for bittul Torah? What do you mean? Okay.
I mean protection, not to do bittul Torah.
Protection. So protection is very simple. One mitzvah brings another mitzvah. So the reward for one mitzvah is another mitzvah, right? So it's like you have more business. So on one hand, the guy in the store, it's better nobody comes, and he's relaxing the whole day, right? Or what he wants? No, he wants more customer come. He wants to add second register, maybe third register. You understand? So the reward to him is the more customer come, and the more he works. He works nonstop. So that's so if you try to make yourself a vessel that to keep Satan away. On one hand, on another hand, we learned today in my morning class there is a mitzvah. There are two types of the mitzvah. There is mitzvah that is life. We call life in Torah. Mitzvah that is life, and in Torah said another type of the mitzvah is called a garment. So life meaning that you did it because HaShem said so from the bottom of your heart, and you center you're centered on the mitzvah, right? So for example, I give you one perfect example of this mitzvah. So you wanna All day long, you want to bless HaShem. You want to thank HaShem. How do you bless? You find any opportunity. You know, I'm not really thirsty, but a little thirsty. So I'm going to get this tea. Why? I want to bless Hashem. That's my own reason. You understand? So this mitzvah life, right? Other like garment is garment. He does the mitzvah because he wants to drink tea, right? And he must say the blessing, and that's why he drinks, right? So of course these garments, they don't say they're bad, they're good. They're protection from the Yetzer Hara. While he's busy with this mitzvah, it's a protection from Yetzer Hara. But it cannot compare to the mitzvah that they call life. What's the difference? One more time. So the mitzvah that they call life, it comes with the what? With the challenges. The mitzvah that does not come with the challenges, with the difficulty, is just a garment. It means that Satan, he does not care for that person to do the mitzvah. You understand? And it's his if he interacts, if he trying to do all of these other things, so it means that mitzvah costs a lot worth in his mind. So that's the more it pushes back, the more you have to understand the more valuable it is.
Understood. The Rosh, I'm pretty sure, in Orchos Chaim says that half of Shabbos, let's go from the time you have awake, okay? Not counting the sleeping time. You have to use studying Torah, okay? So I did a cheshbon, and I don't know how it's possible, because davening, because the Suda, because all of this, you're supposed to study it more on Shabbos. How does one find more time to study on Shabbos than a normal weekday?
No, more of free time. Yeah, you understand? So one of the things, I don't sit around the table for 3 hours. You ate, I don't know, whatever you enjoy, and that's it. You can go study Torah.
How what's it called? In regards to Suda, how long should a Suda be?
Okay, so I mean, it should not be in a hurry. You have to enjoy it, for sure, right? But one more time, going to mitzvah that life is not life, right? And it's gone. So when they call it the mitzvah is the life, so meaning that there is a mitzvah on Shabbos to make oneg Shabbos, to enjoy Shabbos. And how do I enjoy Shabbos? I have to eat. How our sages told me, right? How to enjoy Shabbos? Have to eat the good food and wear the beautiful garments. Okay, so you know why I eat food? Because sages told me that's how I should enjoy Shabbos. You understand? How long this meal? It depends on the person. It depends on the person. So for me, 1.5 hours, like morning meal, it's more than enough. More than enough. With all of the Dvar Torah, with all of the things. So okay, then I go and start learning. So I have a few hours straight.
So how much time do you think you have to study Shabbos?
So as much as you can, because the proportion that the reward. So we have to talk about reward, right? Not always punishment. The reward of Shabbos, studying on Shabbos, is 1 to 100. That's why normal people would not drink any alcohol on Shabbos. You know, especially during on a Shabbos day.
Understood.
If you're not normal and you want the satisfaction and be drunk, you're not able to learn. Yeah, that's what you do. You drink a little more, eat a little more cholent, and after cholent is very heavy food. That's how it's very heavy food. So your stomach needs a lot of resources to process this food. So it calls this blood from the whole body to help to digest this food. Blood from whole brain. Now the guy ate a lot. Now it looks like he's supposed to have a lot of energy, right? But other you see, opposite is true, right? He's sleepy. Why? Because all of the blood goes to digest this food extra, right? So and he's sleepy. So don't overeat on Shabbos. Not a good idea.
So two things. My question is more so how much time do you study? Okay, and number two, I heard that the Rizal took 3 hour naps on Shabbos.
Who? Arizo? I don't know. Okay, so okay, but he didn't sleep at night. All the nights he did not sleep. So leave Arizo alone. Okay, that's it. Okay, what else? Or you want to say something? Go ahead.
I have a question for instant noodle soup. What bracha do you make? Because it has like some vegetables with some like hot water in it. What bracha do you make?
Yeah, you said mizoines and all of the water and all of the vegetables for sure it's secondary.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, we stop here because it's very, very close to Shabbos. So wish you good Shabbos, and remember to switch the clock because we're going 1 hour back, right? So until 9 p.m. BeEzrat HaShem on Sunday. Okay, good Shabbos, everybody.
Good Shabbos. Bye.
Shalom v'chai everybody. Very happy to announce a major event coming up in Eretz Yisrael. This event is going to be unlike any other we've done as an organization. Last year we had a group of young guys that completed the entire Shas, Bavli, and the Mishnayot in a single year. This year we're going to have the entire foundation of the oral Torah completed in a single night. Our own dear Ephraim and other Talmudim of the organization. In a single night we'll have the completion of the Shas Bavli, Shas Mishnayot, the Zohar Kadosh, Zohar Chadash, Tikkunei Zohar, and the Shulchan Aruch. Years and years of toil, lots of effort. It's coming to fruition, and in a single night, all of it will be completed to sanctify Kadosh Baruch Hu's name. This is going to be a night where many Rabbanim, many Tzaddikim will be joining us at this event. There'll be hundreds and hundreds of people at the event in Eretz Yisrael, including the Rishon LeZion, Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef, of course, our own very dear Rabbi Ephraim Kachlon. I myself will also be joining, coming to Eretz Yisrael for the first time in many years, to join this monumental event, this monumental Kiddush Hashem, in order to sanctify Kadosh Baruch Hu's name, to show him how much we love his Torah, how dedicated we are to his Torah, and to be able to, BeEzrat Hashem, give chizuk to Am Yisrael in another way.
בעזרת השם, ארגון בעזרת השם מתעתד לעשות כנס גדול, שם יהיה סיום על עיקרי התורה שבעל פה, שזה סיום כל התלמוד בבלי, סיום כל 6 סדרי משנה, סיום כל הזוהר הקדוש ותיקוני הזוהר, וסיום כל השולחן ערוך. בדרך כלל לוקח זמן כדי לסיים את כל הספרים הללו, 30 שנה, 40 שנה, ובסייעתא דשמיא הארגון בעזרת השם עושה את הכנס לכל כלל ישראל. כולם מוזמנים.
We're looking forward for this event. We're also looking forward to seeing some of you that are going to be joining us. There are going to be some sponsorship opportunities for anyone that wants to be able to be a part of it. And of course, there'll be a opportunity for any of you that want to join us, one way or the other. Last but not least, there will also be a raffle that we'll be announcing very soon for anyone that wants to join the raffle and also be able to do Kiruv at the same time. The winner of the raffle will win a flight ticket to Eretz Yisrael and be able to join us at the event. So please look out for more news. Looking forward to seeing you at this event. And BeEzrat Hashem, Naaseh v'Natzliach.